decide where we want to park. We made it. So what I did is I didn't show it, but I had to. In some spots they took out like the flumes, like the pipes, to bypass under the road with water. So I had to throw logs in some places to kind of fill it in. And the one I just went over, I put a bunch of rocks in. I probably should have piled more rocks or, you know, got some logs, but it worked out. Look at that view though. Sorry about the white. It's a beautiful view. So I think that road, I think that's the one that goes up to the hillside there where I showed they had done a bunch of logging on the side of the hill. You can see a road way up there. It's crazy. This whole area is just, all it is for logging basically. It's ridiculous. Like I said, if you look on Google Maps and look down, well obviously you're looking down, but just look at all the scars of logging. It's pretty gross. I mean, you can actually tell where they've planted and it's regrown and where the logs are, or the trees are actually older up top. You can see how the height difference is. So I mean, at least trees are growing back and reclaiming, but you know, that's gonna just, once they're big enough, they'll be cut down again. Just a whole tree farming area, unfortunately. But like I said, because they do that, we have roads, and because we have roads, we can get out here. So it's a bittersweet symphony last night. Well, bittersweet is what I'm saying. Bring the van up here, clear this area out a bit, and maybe right there that gives you a better view, and enjoy ourselves. I had to leave the chimney on because it got cold this morning when I woke up. So I had the fire going, and then I was eager to just go. Because, here, let me face me. Hey, I'll show myself for a little bit, you know? I'm usually just pointing ahead, but yeah, I woke up and it was pretty cold. That's not what I was talking about. That was before. I was eager to leave because if I didn't leave, I wouldn't leave. I get too comfortable in places, in spots, so I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I'm pretty tired, and I just, you know, I don't need to go anywhere. And then I'm just like, I don't need to go anywhere the next day. I don't need to go anywhere the next day. It just keeps going, and I just don't move. So I was like, I gotta go. I gotta move, or else I'm not gonna do it. So, anyways, move up to that spot and clear it out and set up base camp. Up, 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 up. Boy. You know, I might as well just keep you running as we go. There is a road that keeps going behind us, but there is another divot, and I think this is a nice spot. I think if we keep going in, it might not give us a view, or we have to go quite a bit deeper. I mean, we'll have a walk up there and see where it goes later on, but for now I'm just gonna come right here. This is as good a spot as any, really. I got my tools on the side here, cut some branches and stuff out of the way. You can see I lost a plate. Dang it, I'm gonna have to go looking for that. Alright, well, that's to be expected when you do what I'm doing. So. That kind of sucks though. Oh, the treats are down. They're sitting up here, and I obviously forgot to put them back. Oh. Just feeding the pooch. Oh, I guess I need that. Actually, I don't need that. So, the plan was to, obviously, I said I was going to park butt end facing this way, but ended up parking sideways just because it worked out better. Trying to send a okay message out. I haven't let my parents know because I obviously have no reception out here. I do have Starlink, but I haven't used Starlink in 2 days. I haven't been on the internet and stuff in 2 days since I came out here. I haven't even plugged Starlink in. It's just, I'm gonna walk down here and see if I can find that piece that broke off. It broke off before, like on a previous trip. It ripped off and then I found it, grabbed it, and I just used sheet metal screws to pump it back on. You know, she's meant to take a beating. That's why I bought it, to be able to get out here. You know, and like I always say, it's like a cabin on wheels, right? I have my wood stove and everything, so as long as I can get out here. So I was just looking at this. This would be a nice spot too, but I could actually back in here better, but then I don't know if the view would be as nice. Something to think about though. I mean, then I could back in here and be right off the road. I could open my door this way, you know, have a fire there. I might do that. This looks more ideal than parking sideways and then having my door open towards the cliffy area, but we're just gonna go see if I can find that piece that ripped off. Oh, look at that. I don't know what that would have come off of. It's a good find though. You never have too many lock washers. I try and hello. I try and put things in my van, like stock things up, screws, washers, stuff like that, to, you know, just in case I need something. If I have to fix something while I'm out here, I try and, you know, put a good supply of things in the cubby holes. I got like lots of fluids for the van itself, like oil and extra coolant. Coolant lines seem to burst a lot on this old girl. This is where I built the half A bridge. I should probably actually. Oh my god! I'm so sorry I dropped you. I didn't crack nothing. No, that's not. I'll put it in here. Yeah, you can see my half bridge. I'll probably, before I leave, I'll probably try and do a better job. Because I did still, you can see I hit a bit right here. That's what theoretically I thought would have broken that piece off, but it's not here. This is where I drove up to this point, I stopped, saw that divot, and was like, I probably shouldn't keep going, I should probably fill that in. So then I backed up, and obviously I'm a heavy vehicle, so I just basically slid down here backwards. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fill this spot in better when I come down, because obviously this wasn't enough, which I kind of didn't think it would be, but Well, at least we got it. I can throw that back in. You can see I put just metal sheet metal screws in there. Nice little water route. I'm glad we found this though. The less Frankensteinish the amble looks. Sorry. I never really like filming myself. Like I'm doing a selfie. Selfie filming. Look at me. Ha ha ha. Look at me. Look how gorgeous I am. I'm so gorgeous. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Hi. Anyways, and I really like just filming myself. Like I said, yeah, I always feel like I'm just doing a selfie. Anyways, yeah, I like my ambulance looking less Frankensteinish, or I guess I don't think the monster is called Frankenstein. It's the doctor, right? Whatever the monster's called. I don't like it looking like a monster. So, mushrooms. So I like to, if I can find pieces that are broken off or repair things that can be repaired, I do. So I'll throw this back on and try not to hit big divots like that again. See if I can throw this back on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move over here. At least I can back in here and then I can have a campfire here instead of being like that. It's a beautiful spot though, but I think it's more sensible to be over on the other side there. I'll get back to you. What are you doing? Itchy ear? Right. So we moved for a second time so I could park sideways, have a decent space here, and then I can probably have a fire pit right here. If I want to catch a good view, I can just come sit over here. So yeah, we were over there, and then we just came here. So kind of closer to where this road comes up, but we're right off the road and in a better spot in my opinion, rather than having the door open towards like a, drop basically. And then we still have room to get around back here. Again, there's the road that comes up to this road that comes in to where we are. You can see down there, there's a little road that continues on in the valley up to more logging roads. best I could. She's a little warped, so, but it's better than nothing. And I'm just gonna make bacon and eggs. You know, frying out the potatoes takes a bit of time, and I think bacon and eggs are good for today. It's really hard to beat this. Just the peace and quiet. The endless amount of area to roam. No neighbors, you know. It's ideal for me. I feel right. I feel good when I'm out in these places. Like I've said before, my anxiety non-existent. You know, I don't get depressed out here. I don't know. I've always felt at home being out here. I love like the mountainous country like this, where it's just like valley and then just mountains surrounding everything else. It's quite beautiful. You know, it's hard to get sick of something like this. A view like this. You know, you're not going to find this kind of view out in the city or even in the country. Gotta come to these places. For anybody who hasn't seen the movie Powder, I highly recommend it. It is a beautiful, beautiful movie. It's got shows kind of both sides of humanity, the worst of humanity and the best of humanity towards people that are different, basically. People that don't understand things, that don't understand certain people. And it's very emotional and just a well done movie, and I really like it. I would say it's probably my favorite movie, and I just wanted to recommend it for anybody that hasn't seen it. Check it out. We're heading out to try and find this pond thing. It's a weird little spot that has a circular looking pond or body of water, and it's the only spot I could see around this area that had something like that. So it's cool, it's it's different. So we go check it out and see what's there, and go from there. So I'll get back to you. There we go. A little trickling waterfall thingy. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, now that you can see with a bit of exposure, it's this road's being nicely reclaimed by the forest. I just hope it stays like this, because generally they let things grow up and then they come in here and bulldoze this road out again and continue the process. So I really hope they just leave this alone, as it's growing back nicely. So fingers crossed. Beautiful sounds of nature with birds squawking. You see the sun's just starting to make it over the ridge now. It's about 10 now, 10 a.m. So I noticed around back at camp that listen to that. It almost has like a jungle vibe to it. But I noticed back at camp, the sun seemed to just peak over the peak of the mountain there around 10:30ish. There's the sun breaking through. Starsky's eating grass. Grazing. Oh, the sun's right in front of us, blinding us. Blinded by the light, revved up like a leaf in the middle of the night. Blinded by the light, revved up like a leaf in the middle of the night. Right? Ah. Look how big that stump is, eh? That was a big tree. I've been in worse deadfall forests than this that I've had to trek over, so this isn't actually that bad. What I really need to get is a head cam mount, so I can put this on my head instead of having to hold it. As you can see, we're pretty high up in the alpine here. Not an easy climb. My van's actually right over here. But we're gonna keep going, get out of this. Alright, I know I'm burning this battery to record, but this noisy bird over here, it's a blue jay. Blue jay, get out of here! So I just got to show you the view. We're about up on the Alpine Ridge here. You had to go through some horrible. So my DJI action camera is basically dead. So I gotta film with my phone now. But we made it to the ridge top. So we're at the high point, and as long as we follow this straight over, it should lead us to this mystery pond. You kind of see our height here. We're not too far off the peaks of those ones. But yeah, this pond is supposed to be just over here somewhere now, so we're almost there. A little more bushwhacking to do and you should be there. Alright, found it. It's right there. We just gotta go straight down, and by the time we get there, the sun will probably be hitting it by then. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a jaunt down. I think we got to go around this way, make our way down. Alright. Check. Let's just make sure there's no grazing bears or anything drinking out of there. Oh god, that was a tough journey to get here. I'm sure there's probably an easier way to go, but you know, there's no direct logging road or anything that either does lead up here or used to lead up here, like no overgrown logging roads either. So it looks like we got a natural bridge here out to the water. Nice. Oh. Here it is, we made it. Just this ominous little pond out in the middle of nowhere. Look how still that is. Starsky's drinking out of a hole there. Wow, this is beautiful. Yeah, take a rest, bud. That was a hard hike. Yeah, so this is basically out in the alpine kind of area. I have to hike right up into the hills and bush. There's an old deactivated logging road through here that I think we're going to try and take back. There's no way I'm going through all that bush again. Oh, hello. Oh, you're over here. There's no way I'm going through all that bush again. That was just horrendous. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Oh, that I haven't done a big hike like that, and let's get a better view of this water view. I haven't done a hike like that in a long time. So that was difficult. Almost had I probably almost had about 3 heart attacks coming up that hill. The brush was so thick, you just had to like hold on to roots and pull yourself up the mountain. Oh, it was awful, but we made it. I wasn't gonna give up either, you know. It almost felt like a thing where it's like, oh yeah, this is too much. Like we gotta turn back and go back the other way. But no. Once I put my mind to something, I want to go see something, discover something, then I'm gonna do it, no matter what. So we did it. Yeah, the sun's just about to come over there. Nice little hidden spot. last look before we leave. I'm going to try and take this old overgrown logging road back and see if it's got to be an easier way to go. But we'll find out. So just for perspective, I want to show you where we got to go. So my van is right up hidden over here. So we got to go down all this. There's a old logging road right down here, and then cut across down the valley and up and then back in again. This is what we got to deal with. So yeah, I just want to acknowledge what a trooper Starsky is. He just continues to amaze me of how agile, and you know, he's like a mountain goat. He just gets into these crazy spots that I lead him to, which are horrible spots usually, and he just keeps up with me. Sometimes he's leading me up these insane ridges into the hills. So I just want to acknowledge how proud I am of him. He's awesome. He does an awesome job of sticking with me, and like I said, sometimes he's ahead of me climbing. So he's a trooper.